Hello friends, in this video tutorial let us see how to display images, that is external images, as per data field in a SSRS report. Now by external images what do we mean? Now in SSRS reports there can be three type of images. First is embedded, right? For that we have seen the last video tutorial. Now second type of images are database images, that is those images which are stored directly into the database columns. And the third type is external. External means if you are getting the image, that is if the image source is either over the HTTP protocol, or if we are getting image from directly from the physical file folder, then or over a network shared drive, then such kind of images are called as external images. Okay, so we can even get image directly from a website. Okay, if we get the image URL location, then we can specify it in as part of the image source, and we can directly pull the image from our external website also. Okay, so now for this I have prepared this report, so let us understand what I have done in this report. Okay, now over here if we go to the image properties, we can show that this is not an embedded image. Okay, so now if you go over here in images, there are no images added in the images folder. So there are no embedded images for this particular report. Whereas if you preview the report, then it is able to show so many images, right? Okay, so let us see how this has been done. Okay, so now first of all, we want to introduce the logo. Okay, this image called logo. So where is it stored? It is stored in this folder. Okay, this is the folder path where it is stored. Okay, and this is the logo image. Okay, so now we have to first of all copy this path. Okay, copy. Okay, then go over here, go to the image properties and paste this path over here. Okay, then replace single backslash character with a double backslash character everywhere. Okay, so I have replaced all the backslash characters which were single, I have replaced them to double backslash characters. Okay, so now this constitutes the whole image path, and additionally, which is the protocol being used over here? It is the file protocol using which you are able to get the image. So just put this much in front of it, just prepend it with file colon. Okay, so this is the whole path. So it starts with file colon, then the whole path that we have copy pasted, and the only thing that we have done is we have replaced single backslash character with the double backslash characters. Okay, if you go to FX, then it will give you everything as a single string. Remember that this is not an expression, right? This is a single string, right? It is not starting with equal to, it is just a single string. Okay, so now let us click cancel. Okay, and observe that when it is taking form of a single string in this expression window, the double backslash characters are actually evaluated as single backslash characters. Okay, so it is at the runtime they are evaluated as single backslash characters, right, in this format of a string. Now this information that we have studied right now will be useful for us in this video tutorial going ahead, right? So this is how. Let's click OK. So in the design time itself, it will start showing the image. Okay, so in the runtime also it will show the image. Okay, right? So this is how this logo image has come, and it has come from the physical path. Okay, that is we have specified the protocol as file. So it is taking the image from the physical file folder path. Okay, right? So now let us go to the columns, right? This is the region column, sales first person, sales last person name. So these columns are same as the columns that we have been seeing in last many video tutorials, right? Now let us come to this image related 4 columns. Okay, now this is I have given the heading as HTTP image. Why? I have just now discussed that as per external images, you can get external images from multiple sources. Source number 1 can be HTTP protocol. Okay, so if the image is available in any web server, and if web server is serving the image on a given URL, then you can get that image URL and specify it. Okay, so right click, go to image properties. Over here you can specify a image URL. Okay, then at the runtime your reporting server will fetch that image and display inside the report. Okay, so in this way HTTP images can be shown. Now this column is file image. So in this, what I have done is I have used the same logic as it was applied for this displaying this logo. That is, the images are displayed using file protocol. Okay, so if you go to FX, then you can see that file is used. Okay, whereas over here, if you go to FX, it is HTTP protocol is used. Okay, now the thing is, we do not want to display a static image for all column records, right? We do not want to display a static image for all column records. But what we want is, if suppose for the record contains, right now we are not showing the product type, right? So let us display that also. Okay, so let us insert column to the left and let us display product name, right? Okay, let us click save. Let us go over here. Now if the product name is TV, we want to display image of TV. If the product name is cell phone, we want to display image of cell phone. If the product name is laptop, we want to display image of laptop. And if the product name is computer, we want to display the image of a computer. Okay, so that is our requirement. So we don't want to hardcode the image using the path that we have just discussed for the logo, right? We don't want to hardcode the image. What we want to do is, we want to dynamically at the runtime see what is the value of this product name column, and based on that, this column will act as the data field. Okay, so based on the value inside this data field column called product name, we want to display the image. Okay, now image source can be at two places. One is the physical file folder. It will be the same file folder which we have used for the AdventureWorks logo. So I have got all these 4 images in the same file folder. Okay, or second is, it can be lying on a HTTP. Now instead of using these images which I have downloaded from internet, now instead of using this the image URLs for these images directly from web, what I have done is, I have created, and generally in your project scenarios also, what you will have is, you will have your own images which you can deploy or put inside a web server, in your own web server, right? Though your images inside your project will not be lying scattered across the internet, right? They will be, you will have the control over those images. You will have all those images which you can deploy to your own web server, right? So what I have done is, I have gone to IIS. Okay, I have created a this virtual directory. Okay, I have created SSRS underscore images as the virtual directory, right? And what I have done is, I have enabled directory browsing. Okay, so I have gone to directory browsing. Okay, feature, open feature, and I have enabled the feature. Okay, so now once directory browsing is enabled, now what is the path that I have mapped for this SSRS images virtual directory? Path is nothing but this folder. Okay, so now for this IIS virtual directory, the content is only this much. There are only these 5 image files lying. There is no ASPX file, there is no HTML file. There are only 5 image files lying for this virtual directory folder, and that's why web.config file is existing. It has been auto created when I mapped my virtual directory to this particular folder. Okay, so that's why this web.config file has been put over here by IIS. Okay, now these are the only images file which the IIS should be able to serve. Why? Because I have specified this folder as a virtual directory, right? I have mapped this folder to the virtual directory. So hence, if you go to IIS, okay, if I go to localhost, okay, and if I go to SSRS images, let's say I go to localhost, right, and inside the localhost, so IIS is working fine. If I go to SSRS underscore images, then I have enabled the directory browsing. Okay, so now I am able to get the list of directory, list of images or list of files inside this directory, right? And we are having all these 5 image files only and the web.config file, right? So if I click on laptop.image, then this is the URL. This is the HTTP based URL where my image is lying. Okay, so that's the most important thing to understand. Now similarly, we can get URL for different images also, like cell phone, right, or computer, right, or TV, right? So this is the way we can get URL for different images, all the 4 images. Now, or in case if you are preparing, let's say you are displaying list of all the students in a class or in a college, then all those images of students can be lying over here. Okay, with the name, right? The images can have the name of the student, and the name can be also present in one of the database columns. So based on that, you can pull the images from this folder. Okay, now let us go to SSDT. Now what I have done to pull these HTML images. Okay, I hope you understood what is the path being taken, right? So if I go to notepad. Now this is the path on which the image is lying. Okay, and we also know that once we go to this image, let's say, right, then once we go to fx, that is when we want to have dynamic images, the thing that this the SSRS report expects is a string. Okay, the final output that the SSRS report expects is a string. Okay, so we have to form a string, okay, dynamically. So for this, what I've done is I've used string.format function, okay, and I've put this whole path over here. Okay, I only replaced this laptop part because this is dynamic in nature, right? Only replace that with a parameter, and I'm passing that parameter by converting the product.firstName value. Okay, and this happens when the case is with HTTP. Similarly, same logic works when the case is with file. Okay, so use string.format function for file also. Okay, if you go to file, go to image properties, go to fx, then whatever is written over here I have copy pasted in the notepad. Okay, so what happens, I have used the string.format function, file, and then the whole path, and then the parameter.jpg, and the parameter is convert to string and product name.value. Okay, so I'm again showing the whole thing over here. So it's string.format is the whole file colon and then the whole path. Then this is the dynamic part, that is the name of the image .jpg, and the name of the image will come from the data field value, which is the product name .value. Okay, so in this way we can get the whole path constituted runtime, right? And hence, and what I'm doing as an extra thing is just to verify that our path was constructed properly for both HTTP as well as for file images. I'm just printing that path over here. Okay, I'm just printing that expression value over here. So it will give the whole path from where the image is being picked up runtime by SSRS engine, right? So over here also, if you go into the expression, I have just copy pasted the whole expression over here so that we are able to see what is the exact path from where the image is being picked up by SSRS at runtime, right? So that's it. And if we preview the image report, we can see that the images are being picked up correctly and are being displayed correctly. And which is the path from where these images are being picked up? They are the path which we have generated at runtime using expressions, and this is the path for HTTP files, right, which we are also displaying, and this is the path for image file based path, file folder, physical folder related path, which we are also displaying, and it starts with a file colon, right, as the protocol. So I hope, friends, this video tutorial on how to display images dynamically using expressions based on the data field values is useful to you. Thank you.